Hi again. So about due dates. So I went to your calendar button here. I like this view sometimes to look at due dates. So your due dates in general are fine. The biggest thing that's important is to make sure they fall within the correct range. Um, okay, let me go back here for a second. When you delete and re-import your course, then you have to do this distribute due dates, and I think yours look good. So either they're just set already, or you already distributed them, which is great. So there's this button right here that says distribute due dates, and so you make sure this is the first day, and you make sure this is the last day, I always check the time as well, and then you hit distribute due dates, and then make sure after you do that that you go down to the bottom and push update course details, otherwise it doesn't save. But your due dates in general look good, so now it's like a personal preference. Oh, by the way, anytime you import something else, you have to distribute your due dates again. So when you're setting up your course for the semester or for the quarter, the last thing you want to do is distribute due dates. Like import everything that you're going to import first, then distribute due dates. Because if you fix all your due dates and then you're like, oh, I want to import this one assignment from last quarter, it messes all your due dates up again. So just a word of warning there. So once I have everything set and I distribute my due dates, then I go to calendar. And this is just personal preference. Just from like a parent perspective, just with my own children doing their school and stuff, but just from a teacher perspective also. So now you can visually see. So the distribute due date button just literally takes all the assignments and distributes it evenly throughout the quarter. So that might mean that lessons are broken up. So you can see that like lesson 1, so this is your welcome video, then there's workbook 1.1, workbook 1.2, workbook 1.3, and checkpoint 1. That's all lesson 1, but it's due on different days. And if you don't care about that, that's fine. I like to keep the lessons all together, especially because the way our system works for attendance, it's based on lesson completion. So I like students to, when they start a lesson, I like them to finish that lesson. And that doesn't always happen, of course. Like they can stop if they want, but I like them to think about, okay, I'm going to do lesson 1 right now, and then maybe I'll take a break, instead of saying, okay, well, these two workbooks are due today, so I'll do those two, and then tomorrow I'll do the last workbook and the checkpoint. So it's just personal preference at this point. So I can show you really quick. I'll go back into mine. So you can leave it just like this if you want, or not. And I'll just show you what I do with mine. You don't have to do that. It is totally up to you. I just don't really like it. Sometimes like randomly, like there'll be one part of the lesson due like the next week or something, and that just bugs me. So, okay, let me just do Algebra 1B, just for example. So it's just loading. Okay, so for my regular courses, actually, just go to Alt since you have an Alt. For 20 lesson courses, this is what I usually do. Let's get rid of that. Oh, darn it. Okay. So just Alt. Okay, so here's what I do for Alt. 1 week I'll have two lessons due, and then the next week I'll have 3 lessons due. Then 2, then 3, then 2, then 3, and that's just to make it 20 lessons by the end of the quarter. And so I have like lesson 1 due on Tuesday, lesson 2 due on Thursday, and then I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I do Tuesday, Thursday, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday. And sometimes lessons have more things than others. Like this one had a focus notes assignment in it, so there's more things listed here. But I still like the compartmentalizing of it. And I know some students work off of the calendar, and so they can see, okay, everything for lesson 3 I need to do today, lesson 4 I need to do on Wednesday. So I like that better personally. And I just followed that same pattern throughout the quarter. And then I'll show you what I do for the end of the quarter. Still loading. So the last day of the quarter is actually the 18th, which is a Thursday. So I try to have everything in the course due like the Friday before. And then on my weekly emails leading up to the end of the quarter, or specifically during this week, I'll say, you should have everything done now, but you can go back and try to raise your grade, redo things that you got a low score on. But I like to have my everything due the Friday before. And that just gives you like, you should have everything graded by then, and then you have more flexible time here to help students like increase their grades. So that's just what I do. So just an idea about due dates.